Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off by giving our praise to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. Let's call Allah Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rukat, Wadash. The water Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, for allowing me to get another lesson with you guys. It's been a long time. I'm just going to jump right into it, man. This Proverbs 15:1. I'm going straight through the Spirit. I ain't even got nothing put together for you. I'm just going straight through the Spirit. It's Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So a soft answer, not just being a literal answer. Someone literally giving you an answer to a statement or question that you may have. That's not the soft answer that turns away wrath. The soft answer that turns away wrath represents spiritual qualities. Matter of fact, let's go here. Lucky. Matter of fact, let's just get this. Let me just get this. Because I wanted to get the scripture where it speaks about how okay, yeah, let's get there. I got it. Let's just get there real quick, then we're gonna go there. It's Proverbs 19:12. We started at 11. It's Proverbs 19:11. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. So the discretion of a man, which is the judgment, the ability to be able to have discernment on what is right and what is wrong, decision making, the discretion of a man, deferreth his anger, So if he can find within his judgment and his reasoning to be able to correlate it with righteousness, they can push away his anger, because anger is a trait of the flesh, So spiritual qualities can deflect fleshly qualities. It says, let me read one more time for you guys. It's Proverbs 19:12. The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion. Excuse me, let's read 11. Proverbs 19:11. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and this is glory to pass over transgression. So it's the glory of a righteous man, or a king, which we're a nation of kings and priests, to pass over discretion. So we're supposed to uphold kingship and royalty, and as a king and as a royal man, it is supposed to be a pleasure, a glory unto you, a praise unto you, to be able to pass over transgressions, which is ultimately an opportunity for you not to indulge within fleshly characteristics or transgressive characteristics, or things that could bring forth more negative consequences. Verse 12. The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass. So the king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, which means that the wrath of a king can be fierce. It can be extreme. It can be overbearing, so to speak. It can be harsh. It can relate to austerity. It can induce fear in the wrong way. But his favor is as dew upon the grass. So the same way you can get angry as a king, or the same way you could, be able to exert consequences or punishments upon somebody as a king, our favor that's within us as kings is supposed to far beyond past that, So what we first brought out was in Proverbs 15:1. Let's read that one more time. It's Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So, and those grievous words can be within self, which can be grievous actions or grievous meditations or grievous things that you have put out there, that you have spoken to existence, These things right here can be factors that help, infuriate you, So that's why it's important to stay with a soft answer, to give a soft answer which correlates with, favor, and gratitude, humility, meekness, joy. It links with all spiritual traits. We're gonna get there too. But let's get Matthew Let's get Matthew 5:25, where our Lord said. Excuse me. It's Matthew 5 and verse 25. It says, agree with thine adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Verily I say unto you, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing. So agreeing with thy adversary quickly. This is a key thing. And this is how you give a soft answer, is by agreeing with thy adversary quickly, and not being in agreement or to accordance to what they're on. If it's evil, not in agreement with that, but agree with thy adversary quickly, as in the way of, okay, I'm not going to provoke this matter. I'm not going to promote this matter to bring forth more, negative things that can come forth from this. That's why, you agree with your adversary quickly. As a king and as a servant. Both in both positions, whichever position you're playing, you want to agree with thy adversary quickly. If your adversary is kingly, scriptures speak about striving not with mighty man, or trying to rise up against a great multitude, or rise up against those who are in power. That's not a wise thing to do. It's best to, wait upon the Lord until he rise up against the prey, So, agreeing with thine adversary quickly, whether it's the king or whether it's a servant or whether it's a ruler or whether it's the people, in the face of injustices, of course you want to stand up, you want to defend yourself, but you don't want to have to end up in a situation that could have been prevented if you would have just stuck to spiritual principles. A lot of times you can prevent further consequences or punishments or suffering if you submit to the Spirit. Matter of fact, it's Galatians 5 and verse 22. It says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. So when you operate within the Spirit, when you're agreeing with spiritual principles, you don't have to worry about the punishments or sufferings or unseen unseen sufferings or unseen punishments coming upon you. You don't have to worry about that when you're agreeing with the Spirit, when you're in agreement with the Spirit, because you have the characteristics that can bring forth no punishment. There's no law against operating within there's no law against operating within these spiritual qualities. If you operate within love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance, against such there is no law. That's the soft answer that you turn away wrath with. It's the soft answer that you turn away wrath with. Not being emotionally passive, so to speak, but ultimately being spiritually passive in the aspect that you need to be. It says that those who have used abstinence have shined amongst the stars, above the stars, just roughly paraphrasing. So well, who should harm those who be followers of that which is good. So once you're in agreement with spiritual qualities and characteristics, you don't have to worry about further punishments or further consequences. When you get in agreement with the Spirit, when you're in agreement with spiritual qualities, you already have seen suffering, or you already have expected end. Excuse me. You already got an expected end when you're completely in agreement with spiritual characteristics, and that's the soft answer you use to turn away wrath. And you can't overcome evil with evil, but you overcome evil with good. Let's get that. We're gonna get a couple more, and I'm gonna just wrap it up. I just wanted to put something out here for you, brothers and sisters, man. Lord willing, it's edifying for you. So, right here. It's Romans 12:17. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. And honest is being sincere. Honest is being sincere. So you can sincerely, be angry. You can sincerely have wrath. You know what I'm saying? Because it can play both sides. You can have wrath, but that soft answer will turn away wrath within you as well. By you adhering to the spiritual qualities that correlate with love, faith, joy, goodness, gentleness, etc., meekness, which we listed in Galatians the 5th chapter. Once you align yourself with those characteristics, as even in a position of rulership, it can allow you to be able to have clarity within your judgment without going to the extremes, so to speak. It says, recompense no man evil for evil, provide all things honest in the sight of all men. So you have to sincerely, adhere to spiritual characteristics and qualities. You have to spiritually adhere to that voice that's within you, It says, and how do you do that? By recompensing no man evil for evil, because if you're providing things honest in the sight of all men, then that means you're adhering to spiritual characteristics and spiritual action, Verse 17, recompense to no man evil for evil, provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. So as much as lieth possibly within you, you're supposed to live peaceably with all men. And the way to live peaceably with all men is not falling into the trap of wrath. Because wrath and anger, these are really just like emotional traps, that Satan or left-hand side evil angels use to be able to trap you and pit you in behavior that is not conducive for your growth or for your spiritual adherence, or your spiritual obedience, So as much as life within you, live peaceably with all men, because that's ultimately how you are upholding stewardship with God. Once you try to step into the confines of your own feelings, your own emotions, your own vengeance, you're not tapping into spiritual qualities and characteristics to the full capacity. That's why it says the king's favor is as the dew upon the grass, because he has a lot within him. You have to draw it out. A righteous man will draw it out. I'll read that to you. Well, I'll read it more. It says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, and I will replace it, the Lord. So you got to give place for vengeance. You can't just force vengeance into the picture. Vengeance is of God. What is of you is to remain spiritual. Wrath is not the wrath of a man is not supposed to correlate with bloodthirst or correlate with vengeance. In a full light. Our vengeance is supposed to be for evil to be put down, for us not to have to be able to combat things like wrath like that, by adhering to spiritual qualities. It says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will replace it, the Lord. Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him; if he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap clothes of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. So you don't overcome evil with evil. You know, you can't beat wrath with wrath. You can't beat anger with anger. You can't beat disobedience with evil tyranny. You know, you have the only way to be able to beat, you know, fleshly characteristics is through the spirit. You know, and it tells you that the last enemy to be destroyed is death, which correlates with fleshly characteristics. So the enemy that needs to be destroyed is fleshly characteristics, which correlate with that is wrath and anger. So you have to be able to defeat anger and wrath and maintain spiritual qualities. That's what it's telling you when it says a soft answer turn away wrath. You know, that means maintaining and, you know, sticking to your guns, which is spiritual characteristics and spiritual qualities. I'm gonna get this last thing and I'm gonna wrap it up. It's 1 Peter 3, and I start at 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands. That if and being in subjection to your own husbands, I ain't gotta just be talking about no woman. It could also be talking about us as men being obedient to what God has endowed us to do, which that's adhere to spiritual principles, qualities. You know, even in the face of wrath and anger. You know, it says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be warned by the conversation of the wives. You know, so a lot of times, you know, what helps others grow and get to a definite answer, or what helps us grow and get to a definite answer, is us, our conversation, which our conversation correlates with our spiritual action. You know, so our lifestyle has to be predicated upon the spiritual actions that we read in Galatians the 5th chapter. You know, verse 2. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, with reverence, because really that's ultimately reverence for the spiritual qualities that hold weight over wrath and anger. You know, that's why they can, you know, watch your chaste conversation or be warned by your chaste conversation, beholding it with fear, with reverence, you know, because they can see the power behind spiritual action. You know, they can see how they've been subdued in fleshly qualities by spiritual actions toward them, or spiritual labors toward them. You know, it says, whose adorning let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price. You know, so ultimately, you know, maintaining chaste conversation, which correlates with spiritual action that we read in Galatians 5, which also Galatians 5, which also correlates with having a soft answer and agreeing with thy adversary quickly. You know, all these things correlate together. They work hand in hand. You know, the king's wrath, his favor being as the roaring of a lion. You know, wrath and anger being defeated by joy, love, meekness, and peace. You know, the way to stop further suffering, further punishment, and unknown consequences is by maintaining spiritual qualities. That's the whole point of me dropping this lesson for y'all. You know, so I want to say throughout to Yahweh Shemashah for allowing me to get this out to you guys through the Spirit. I pray through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah, I was edified.